All right, Jesse and Fire, welcome back to the channel. So I got so many requests to talk about this that I just have to do it. And yeah, I have a firm position now. We're going to talk about the Bobby Lee and Kalyla and Bryan Callen and Brendan Schaub situation because a lot's happened. A lot more illumination to anybody who's kind of a side observer. I probably would have never even watched this stuff if everybody didn't email it to me. I'm talking like I probably got 24 emails. They're like, dude, did you watch this thing? Because Bobby Lee and Kalyla did this podcast on some guy who apparently has a big podcast. I can't even imagine what kind of people watch that guy's podcast. He has I can't even remember, 7-figure subscribers. And I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, dude, you couldn't pay me to watch this guy's stuff. He and anyway, we'll get into it. But I am not a fan of that guy. Not even a little bit. H3 or H2 or whatever podcast. I'm seriously, I actually don't remember. It's one of those. But anyway, we'll get into it. But yeah, they did a podcast and they talked about this a lot. Like they talked about the accused Schaub and it turns out who was Callen of bullying Bobby Lee about this whole thing, and turned out to be a misunderstanding because Bryan Callen talked about it on him and Schaub's channel, and he was very open about what he was doing. And then Schaub said some things that really, really made this clear what's going on. Like what's, like just more broadly, like high level what's going on, But if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. But on this channel, I just tell you exactly what I think. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now because, I would love to be able to use some clips, but I know that, some people get banged on copyright, and I have a feeling that the guy, that does that podcast that did the Bobby Lee and Kalyla one, he looks like the kind of guy that would try to copyright strike me because I'm going to be pretty fucking mean to him. And, I would love for him to try to dance, dude. Please, 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 please. He looks like he's a dancer. But anyway, so basically, just in a nutshell, most people know Kalyla, who is Bobby Lee's wife. Everybody's kind of like, oh my God, it doesn't even make sense. Like, what's she doing with him, man? She's way too hot to be with Bobby Lee. I think she genuinely, here's my take on her. I think that she thinks that he's genuinely really funny. Like, I think that that's what she loves about him is he's hilarious and he makes her laugh, right? And I also think that she really likes that. Like, I think she loves the, oh my God, she's too hot for him thing. Like, I think that, I hadn't really taken a hard look at her until I watched this particular interview, but I saw a lot about her in this interview. Primarily that Bobby Lee, her husband, very much did not want to talk about this, did not want to talk about the Schaub thing. And she did not care even a little bit.
Name someone. Brendan Schaub. I'm a beast. Wait, we can't talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Oh.
If you...
No.
I would.
If you...
No.
I would.
If you...
No.
I would.
Like, not even a little bit. Like, literally not even a little bit. There was not, she just kept on steamrolling him. Every time he was like, let's not talk about this, she's all, no. It's fine, Bobby. Let's go ahead and talk about this. It's like, Jesus, man. Okay. But what we're talking about is Kalyla and this blonde chick that's also on Trash Tuesday podcast or whatever. I just learned the names of, I didn't even know Kalyla's name until yesterday. Trash Tuesday, didn't know that either. But they made these accusations that Schaub had hit on them, and it's like, well, oh my God, Schaub. And they were complete pricks about it. They're like, oh, Schaub, it's a comedian that's not very funny, not very funny, whatever. He said some things, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, here's the thing, okay? And we'll get into this in much more detail. Here's what I really, truly realized in this thing. Now, I realized I did a video about Schaub's new special where I was a dick. Like, I was a prick, right? I was. And the reason I did that is because he sued Unique and got Unique's channel taken down. I hate bullies, man. I hate bullies. I can't stand it. Now, I would imagine that to the untrained eye, they would look at me and be all, you hate bullies, dude. You're a bully. Look at what you did to Fabia. Nope, I'm a sheepdog, okay? Fabia's a predator, and so I buried him, And if you think I'm being self-important, how do you think that Diego found out about the OnlyFans? Is because I did the video about it, and then he got rid of Fabia 2 days later. And then I, did 30 more videos about it. But nonetheless, he's a predator, okay? That's not being a bully, attacking a predator, And then when I do these videos about these journalists that are attacking Rogan, trying to get his job taken away, they're predators. They're bad guys, And so I'll light them up. I have no problem with that. But I don't bully people. That's not a thing that I do. And these people that live on the internet and are part of these Reddit groups that I just learned about, that I hate Schaub Reddit groups, they're bullies, and they're the sorriest kind of bullies because they do it behind a screen with no one knowing who they are. It's just like, yeah, dopamine loop. Screw this guy. I've never understood it. And I will say it right now. I've never understood it. I've never seen Schaub say a single thing that seemed even moderately deserving of any kind of hate, to be honest with you. Like when he talks, he's just sitting there like, I don't know. I'm just going to tell you, I personally don't understand it even a little bit. The only time I was a dick to him was because he got Unique's channel taken down, and I took that video down last night after watching his response to this Kalyla and Bobby Lee thing, because he just talked about, he's like, when people are cruel to me on the internet, it hurts my feelings. He's like, it really does. He's like, I can't even be on social media because it hurts my feelings so much. And I literally just was like, wow. And between that and a bunch of other things that I saw in the other podcast, I was like, I'm complete, like just the fact that I even dipped my toe on that other side of the line made me feel bad about myself. And I took the video down, and it was a humming video. It was doing really well. I took it down. I don't fucking bully people, dude. I just don't do it. And that's all these people are, the Schaub haters. Because that's the thing. I know the people that are watching that video are a bunch of Schaub haters. They're all, oh my God, someone thinks that his comedy special is shitty. Oh, yes, let's watch it. Fuck you guys, okay? I did that because I didn't like that he took down Unique's channel. Anyway. But yeah, so there's a big contingency of bullies online. They're just bullies. And they would never say shit to Schaub's face. They would never in a million years say one thing to his face. Never. None of these, like Kalyla and them, if he's there, of course, every time they talk to him, they're, oh yeah, everything's cool now. Like everything's cool. Yeah, because you talk shit when he's not there. And then when he calls you, you're like, oh my God, Brendan, it's just a misunderstanding, blah, 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 blah. You think that like you're taking advantage of his good nature because he's calling and he's trying to make friends and be cool. And then you're like, oh yeah, totally. And then you turn around on him and you do another podcast shitting on him again. Like, I just have like, believe me, any of the journalists like Sank Uger, you think that if he and I get on the phone that me, like I'll just be like, oh, hi Sank. Yeah, no, it's totally a misunderstanding. I'd tell him he's a fucking slob every time. I've no, like disingenuous people, especially online ones that just are like, this is the pussiest shit there is, dude. Big, I had no idea this shit existed. Huge Reddit groups, fuck Schaub. And look, Unique, I think is funny. I will admit that. But I think it's funny just because he's harmless, dude. Like seriously, okay? Unique is harmless. Listen. So Schaub and Bryan, I will say this, dude. Okay, I'm going to Okay, so where I saw this response that Callen and Schaub did that I will get into in much more detail later was actually Unique live streamed it, and I just kind of popped it on. And Schaub was like, listen, he's like, you guys can have social media. You guys can handle it. He's like, I can't, man. It hurts my feelings too much. He's like, so I can't have social media. And Unique hit pause. And he goes, oh, he hurt his feelings. He hurt his feelings. He's ruthless. But his voice, I laughed. I felt terrible, but I laughed at that. But nonetheless, like anyway. And here's the other thing. He has the balls to at least put his face on it. Online Redditors. Anyway, so Bobby Lee and Kalyla, so apparently behind the scenes, Schaub, Kalyla, all of them, they're cool. Like they're fine. Schaub went on a podcast. He's all, everything's cool, dude. Like we talked, everything's cool. And then Bobby Lee and Kalyla went on this podcast, and man, I would love to show you this clip, dude. I would love it more than anything. It's at the very beginning of the clip, though. If you guys want to look it up afterwards. But basically, I might roll the dice and just put it in because it's like, it's so telling. It's unbelievable. It's like the only thing you need to see to know who is behind this. Like who's driving this ship, you know? Who's driving this ship? Because you have Shitbag who's doing the podcast, who is a sloppy shitbag that pays girls to bang him for sure, unless he dangles out social media clout, because no one would ever bang this sloppy fuck. But anyway, and he's all, let's talk about Schaub. And Bobby Lee's like, he's all, no. He just puts his head down. He's like, no, we cannot talk about that. We can't talk about that. And then they go to Kalyla, and she literally has her eyes are this wide. She's all, I mean, we can talk about it a little bit. And you're just like, wow, dude, wow. And the whole entire time, Bobby Lee just keeps on going, we can't talk about this. Like, no, we can't talk about this. And she's just like, no, don't listen to him. Look, it's fine. It's fine. This is how our relationship is. I just steamroll him. He's too scared to stand up to me because I'm so hot. He thinks like that I'll just leave him and go with someone else. And I use that against him and I just steamroll him. Like he's my husband. He's making his feelings very clear. He does not want to talk about this. He doesn't want to talk about this even a little bit. And I am somehow going to steamroll him into a 45-minute conversation about exactly the thing that he doesn't want to talk about because I want to talk about it. I love the drama. I love it. I love it. Let's talk about, Schaub. Oh my God. It's just attention grabbing bully shit. Like, it's like desperate for attention. Oh my God, no one has ever paid attention to me like this. Like, I get the like Bobby Lee's girlfriend's hot thing, but like now it's like, look at me. Like, look at me. Look at me. It's like all these like people who just bite off Rogan's clout. Like that's literally all she's doing is like Schaub is with Rogan. So she's got a story with Schaub and she just wants it all, dude. It's so transparent to me. It's funny, dude. Why do you want to talk about it so bad, girl? Kalyla? Why do you want to talk about this so bad? Like Bobby clearly had said, we cannot talk about this beforehand. He clearly said it in the podcast. We can't talk about this. And you just steamrolled him. Why? Why? How is this important? You said you made things cool with Schaub. Like she literally said in the thing, she's all, yeah, I mean like me and Brendan, we are cool, and we agreed that we wouldn't talk about this. But then he went on his podcast the next day and he talked about it. So I was like, okay, deal's off. Except what he said in the podcast was, we all talked and everything's cool. That's what he said, okay? He said, we all talked and everything's cool. And she took that, she's like, oh, I guess deal's off. Yes, I get to shit on him again. I get to shit on him. I get to spill all the beans and talk shit. Yes. It's gross, dude. The grossest part is the fact that Bobby didn't want to talk about it. She just steamrolled him, dude. Bobby, in all honesty, I'm not going to call you a pussy because I saw the part where he said that, like, so Bryan Callen is the one who called Bobby and, and yelled at him or whatever. And Bobby said to Callen, he said, I've been bullied by guys like you my entire life. I'm not going to bully Bobby Lee because, believe me, I didn't see that part yet. I shot a video last night. Video is very good. But after seeing Callen response, and then Callen said that Bobby said that to Callen, I was like, okay, no, I'm not going to pile on Bobby Lee. He feels like he's being bullied. I don't bully people. Okay? I don't do it. And he's not a bad actor. Kalyla's a bad actor. Clear as day, dude. Clear as day. She loves the drama. If you're doing something because you love the drama and you don't care about who you're hurting, you're the bad guy, dude. Okay? Bobby's your husband. He says he does. You understand? And I do actually hold my own marriage up as kind of like the example of how you're supposed to do it. And I think anybody who knows us well would say like, yeah, that's pretty much how you do it, right? Like my wife is a hard 10. And I could say that openly. Like I could be like, Kalyla, my wife's way hotter than you. Like, and anyone who looks her up is going to be like, nah, yep, that's an objective fact. And you think that she would ever steamroll me like that? You think she would ever, you think that she'd just be like, if I was like, look, we're not talking about this here. I'm serious. Then she would just be like, no, now that we're here, I think we could talk about it. And then if I started going like this, you think she'd just be like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Of course not, dude. And it's not because I would exactly what would happen is I would just shoot her a look and be like, what are you doing? And she would just stop talking about it. But that's not why. She wouldn't because I asked her not to. She would know I didn't want her to talk about it. So she wouldn't fucking talk about it. It's disrespectful. You're not a good wife. That's, I'm not going to make outlandish claims about your entire marriage, but that right there is being a bad wife. Just by definition, don't care about your husband's feelings. Don't care about what he wants. He's talking about how it's having real world implications in his career. And you're like, I don't care. I just want to talk about this because I love the drama. I fucking love it. I love it. And Bobby, like I was going to say, you should examine that, dude. I'm serious. That's not how this is supposed to work, dude. Your wife's not supposed to just hear what you say and just not care. And just go, oh, the exact thing that you don't want, I'm doing it right in front of you. Right in front of your face. I'm just doing it anyway. Let's talk about this. Come on, let's talk about it. Yeah. No, we can talk about it. Bobby, look, he's just afraid that he's going to get bullied. Just every single thing that she could bring up. She's like Bobby, here's Bobby's, initial reaction to this guy bringing it up. This piece of shit, right? Let me tell you why he's the worst guy. Okay. A, he's a mean person. He's a trash bag. So Bobby is talking about who Schaub is. And he's like, he was a really successful MMA fighter. It's really hard to go into comedy because they're shitting on his, comedy or whatever. And they're like, it's really hard to go from one thing to another. And the guy, shitbag over here, clearly, I think his name's Ethan or something. Anyway, he clearly knows Schaub's MMA record, right? he doesn't know shit about MMA. So he just knows his record, and he thinks that means that, like, you know, oh, I don't even know what Schaub's record was. So I'm just gonna say 10-6. I have absolutely no idea if that's correct. Like, that could be off by 4 fights in either direction. And he clearly knew. He's all, oh, he was really successful. He's like, what was his record? What was his record? He clearly knew. And he's like, oh, he was really successful. Oh, he was really successful. And the best part about it, and this is why I'm not using this clip, because he probably copyright me for it, is right when he says that, he's like, oh, he's really successful, huh? How many times did he get knocked out? He stands up, and he is the most laughably out of shape. Dude, I'm not joking. I bet you when he shops for shorts, he's looking in like the 42 section. No joke. Like, he's a 42-inch waist with shoulders smaller than mine. I'm not joking. Like, that's how out of shape this guy is. Like, he is so out of shape, it's unbelievable. And you're like, wait a second, dude. Has no one ever explained to you the rules of manhood? Like, has no one ever explained this to you? Okay. You can't talk about a guy's performance in a sport that exists in terms of like two men, you know, fighting in combat. If you couldn't beat up his wife in a fight, like you can't do that. That is not a thing you can do. Okay. Because, like, so as an example, if that was me, I would be like, wait, I'm sorry, what was his record? Be like, I think a better question would be, how many of you would it take to beat Brendan Schaub in a fight right now? Like, let's say, hypothetically, or how about you in your prime? The best version of you ever. How many of you would it take to beat up Brendan Schaub right now? Because I'm going to bet on 30. 30, you know? Because most, you know, like if you've got 30, maybe 7 of you will have the balls to even engage. You'd have the other 23 that are, you know, sitting there like, oh my God, this is like real violence because you're a pussy, okay? And then after maybe you saw the other versions of yourself getting smashed, you know, maybe there's something in you guys would be like, let's go protect them. And then maybe like 20 of you guys could potentially win a fight against Schaub. And so that being the case, you don't get to talk about his MMA record. He knocked out Mirko Krokop, dude. And I know you don't know who that is, but I do. And so does anybody who knows anything about MMA. And so you, pal, are in about the least, you know, realistic position to have any opinion on Schaub's fucking fighting career of any human being ever. What you need to worry about is your fucking waistline. You should go to the gym. That's what you should do, okay? You know, if hating on Schaub motivates you, think about it on the fucking treadmill, fat boy, and go do that, bitch. Anyway, so she steamrolled Bobby, got him talking, and apparently what had happened was Callen, and we found out later there was Callen because Bobby didn't want to say it. Callen had called Bobby and accused him of running like a Reddit thread. Like there's apparently I haven't even looked it up, but there's like some like I hate Schaub Reddit group, right? And they apparently got the like IP addresses of some of the people who are in that group, right? And so Callen was like, dude, we traced the IP to your guys' office or whatever it is. Like, so they traced it to them. And Callen was so sure that the stuff was correct that he was hard on Bobby. Like, he was like, you did it, right? And Bobby, I'm 100% convinced Bobby didn't do it. Absolutely convinced. Here's the thing, though. You know who talked to Kalyla about it? You know, like, so they traced it to a computer, right? Now, I don't know the accuracy of their tracing methods, but I do know for 100% sure that you can get that stuff. That's not, I mean, if you know someone at Reddit, you can absolutely 100% get that stuff. And believe it or not, outside of just posting videos, I do know about tech. Look into my background, okay? 100% you can get that stuff. There's no question. If you know someone inside Reddit, they can get that IP, they can trace your stuff. So if they traced it somewhere where Callen was confident enough to call his friend and directly accuse him of running a Schaub hater Reddit group or contributing to it in a meaningful way enough to where he's going to yell at him, guess what? Okay? That means one of those computers, highly likely, very likely, was doing exactly what they're saying. Okay? Well, who else is with Bobby all the time, right? Like, who else is with... So, I don't think Bobby did it. I believe him. Who else is with Bobby all the time? We could talk about it a little bit, you know. Who talked to her? Schaub? Oh, Schaub talked to her. Right. So, you know, literally, like, in my opinion now, Schaub's like the nicest guy ever. Like, he literally he's all, I've never heard him say anything negative about anyone. Literally, like, that's what I realized when I was watching this. I'm like, have I ever heard Schaub ever say anything negative about anyone? And I'm like, I haven't. Like, the stuff that people hate on him for is like Schaub told a story about how he donated to a fighter's, like, you know, kids, whatever fund, you know, or whatever. Like, I can't remember exactly what I think like and I apologize. This is not me being disrespectful. I just haven't looked at, I don't remember the exact details. It was an MMA fighter whose kid was having some kind of issue and Schaub paid for part of their, medical treatment or whatever. And then Schaub talked about it on the podcast. And people were all, look at him, dude. He just did it for the clout, man. He just did it for a clout. Did it for the clout. He responded to Ariel, and that wasn't even that mean, dude. He told rumors. He told rumors that he had heard around the bend, right? Anyway, it's not, whatever. Now, Ariel, I'm not mad at Ariel. He had a legitimate beef with Schaub, right? Like, let me just actually make that clear. The shit with Ariel, that was a legit beef. Like, Ariel's not bullying Schaub. He has a legit reason that he was upset. Schaub said shit about him on the podcast that was, that was it was an attack on his career. And he said it kind of flippantly, probably didn't think that big of a deal. And Ariel was like, no, that's a pretty fucking big deal. And he went after him. That's fine. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about anonymous haters on Reddit who they don't even. Anyway, so looking at Bobby Lee's girl, we could talk about it a little bit. I would look real close into whether she's contributing to those Reddit threads. You look at a pretty girl, you always just kind of write her off as a potential person who would do a thing like that. Girls are not any less crazy than guys. Sometimes more. Better at hiding it sometimes because you just don't think, you're like, I mean, come on. A girl is going to spend time on like a I hate Schaub Reddit thread? Like, I don't know. That just doesn't seem likely to me. It's like, yeah, maybe it is unlikely, but it's basically unlikely that anybody did it. But someone did it, someone did it. So make sure you have good information. If it really goes to a computer that is at that address, look into her, just see. I'm not saying she did it, but I'm saying Bobby Lee didn't do it. So if your information is good, maybe Mrs. I will steamroll my husband so we can talk about this. Maybe she did it. Maybe. But anyway, so, I mean, look, so they talked about it that, Bobby Lee took it as bullying. He's saying it's affecting his career because he doesn't want to go to the same places as these guys. And look, he said, you guys, I've been bullied by guys like you my whole life. Okay. He's in the middle of a thing that he does not belong in, this is the kind of thing. So, okay. So this other guy, the guy who's doing the podcast, right? This is the exact point I was going to make. This other guy, waistline guy, he's all, we got to talk. He's like, this shit's not cool, man. He's like, it's not even cool, man. They're bullying you. These guys are a pack of rats, man. They're a pack of rats. They're a bunch of meatheads, man. They're just a bunch of meathead pieces of shit, man. And I thought about that and I was like, oh, I get it. Because if anybody's ever been like, oh, this is a pack of meatheads and I'm anywhere near it, believe me, they put me in the meathead space. And so what exactly, let me ask you this, what exactly would put me or Schaub or Callen or any of these guys in the meathead group versus the dude who just made that comment? They're a bunch of fucking meatheads. You want to know exactly what it is? He's fat, we're in shape. It's literally that. There's nothing different. He's a prick. He's attacking them. And then so, it's literally that. That is the define. So when people like him call people meathead, all it means is, oh, those guys actually work out and don't just sit and eat potato chips for 100 years and then they're mean from their fucking couch. So that meathead shit, pal, fuck you, okay? Like I said, hit the gym, dude. Believe me, you would much prefer people call you meathead. You're a prick anyway, Wouldn't you prefer to be a meathead that someone would want to fuck at some point? Fucking, anyway. So anyway, so basically it's like why would the only reason Bobby Lee is even in the middle of a thing like this is because he married a smoke show girl who is into this drama, loves it, loves the drama. He doesn't even belong in this thing. He has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? And so he's trapped in the middle. He doesn't really know what to do. So he's just kind of and here, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot this. So you want to know how delusional this chick is? You want to understand how delusional this chick is? So she goes, there's a moment in this thing where she's all, you know what my problem, Schaub did apologize to you, Bobby, but here's what my problem was. Is when Schaub had a problem with me, he went to Bobby instead of coming to me. He went to Bobby and used him as a filter. And I was like, dude, if you have a problem with me, come to me directly. Oh, really? Really? Is that what he should have done? Let me paint a picture for you, assuming that you lived in the real world where people actually interact with each other correctly, okay? So, well, actually you do live in that world, but let's just say that you could interpret it like a regular person and not a fucking idiot who's so self-important that you don't understand the way the world works, okay? So hypothetically, let's say that me and Anthony Smith, right, we live on the same street, okay? So we're friends, we hang out all the time, some kind of weird thing happens where fill in the blank, any kind of random weird thing, right? I'm not talking about like hitting on anyone, but just like something happens, right? And let's say that both our wives are public figures also. Let's say that his wife went on social media and said something about a thing that she thought that I did. And I was like, and whether I did it or not, right? Like, so, and I look at that, I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? Now, am I going to go directly to Anthony Smith's wife and be like, hey, why'd you put that thing up on Instagram? Huh? Why'd you do that? I mean, you're really causing me problems, Anthony Smith's wife. Or do you think I'm going to go to Anthony because that's the respectful thing to do? And I'd be like, dude, like, guy, like that, this is jamming me up, man. Like, this is, can you ask her to take that down and ask her not to say shit like that? Like, that's like this is actually like a problem for me. Like it's going to destroy my marriage. You know, whatever it is. I hate that I used him as an example. I hate it. But damn it, I'm going to forget to fucking edit this. But I'm just saying, like, he's like a guy, I think, like, he's got a wife and 4 kids. I have a wife and 3 kids. He's the first person that popped in my mind, right? So, of course, out of respect, I would go to him, right? Like, I would go to him and be like, can you talk to your wife, okay? Because if I went directly to his wife, how do you think he's going to take that, dude? He's going to fucking triangle choke me and break my teeth out of my head, right? Correctly. Correctly, right? You got a problem with your boy's wife and you go directly to her and yell at her? What the fuck are you talking about? Of course you go to the husband. That's a respect between men. Now, I understand you're married to Bobby Lee. Maybe you don't actually understand like how man-to-man shit works, but he was being respectful to Bobby when he did that. That's a sign of respect to your husband, okay? Like, I know that you carry your husband around like a Louis Vuitton bag or something. You're like, look at my funny husband. And doesn't he make me look so good? But he was being respectful to Bobby when he did that. Anyway, but yeah, so it's just, anyway. So Bryan Callen apologized to Bobby. He's like, I was in the wrong. And here's the other thing. Dude, Callen is defending his boy. Like, Callen is like, they're boys, right? And he sees this as them attacking Schaub, who's having a hard time on the comedy scene anyway. Like, people are being pricks, dude. You know, like, dude, I saw today on the IMDb that his new comedy special has a 1.1 or something like that. You think that that's because people hate it that much? Or do you think the Reddit group, the army of Reddit people, all went and gave it 1 star? Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's fucking bullying, dude. It's bullying. That none of them would say shit to his face except, can I have an autograph? You know, can I take a picture with you, please? It's just bullying. That's all it is. And so Callen is defending his boy. I'll never be on the wrong side of that again. Ever. I took the video down. Fuck these people, man. Seriously. If you, like, I'm a pretty good judge of character, man. I've never seen a single thing from Schaub that would even moderately deserve the level of shit that he takes online. It makes no sense. You know? And the other thing that made me feel bad about what I did is like he's okay. So like when you, because like I hate bullies, if I see someone who's successful and it looks like they're punching down to me, they look like a bully, right? But in this situation, like, dude, Schaub is new on this scene. He hangs out with all these guys who are really successful. And maybe he's doing well, but like he's taking shit. Like he's taking shit constantly and he's trying to do something. Like he's like trying to do something. That's like the most sacred fucking thing to me there is like, just do it, man. Like roll the dice, get your fucking dick kicked in and just keep going. And that's what he's doing. And I'm not going to be a fucking guy who shits on him or tries to like step on his head while he's trying to go. Fuck that. I'm embarrassed that I did it. I'm fucking embarrassed. Never again. And any of these guys that are getting your little dopamine hit hating on Schaub, fuck you, dude. There's no possible way that you have any like real shit to hate on. Like if I was gonna start, hating on every guy who's ever hit on a girl, I would have not a single friend, none. Probably because I hang out with a bunch of meatheads, But I'm sure that fucking shitbag 54-inch waist guy, he probably doesn't hit on girls because he pays for all of his pussy. I will bet my life. That guy's prostitution resume is enormous. Fuck that guy, man. Ugh. I watched a couple other of his videos, like just because I was like, who the fuck is this guy? You know, because I went hard on him in the other video that I didn't put up. Hard. Real hard. So I just wanted to see who he was. And I could not believe that he has 7-figure subscribers. So I watched some of his other videos and every one of them made me dislike him even more. I went that hard before I watched the other ones. And I was like, I mean, literally the only reason that I took all the clips out of this one is because I'm like, this guy looks like the kind of shitbag that would try to copyright strike my channel. So I'm just going to fuck his mouth like this. And then he can just take it. Or he can go like this. Oh my God, this guy only has 60,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hold on to that dream for a while because I won't forget you when I don't, bitch. Anyway, fuck that guy, dude. Fuck that guy. Bobby Lee's okay. Kalyla, bad girl. You know? Like, maybe not a bad girl all the way through, but behaving badly. And totally oblivious. She kept saying, I could call Schaub right now and we'd be fine. I bet you could when you sweet talk him and act like you have nothing but good intentions after you just completely shit on the guy again. Why are you doing it, dude? Okay? This is the thing that I'm talking about with like me and reading people and why I actually can't smoke weed. It's like all these people are always like, dude, you like smoking weed? Like you look like a guy who like, you know, would really like it. Like calm down. I'm telling you, I can't, dude. Because it takes that thing that I can do where I can look at a person and just see what they're doing all the time and it amplifies it to a point where it's unbearable. Like watching her, if I was stoned in this interview, would be like acid in my veins. Like I would just be like, oh my God, like bad intentions are just amplified. It's just like, it's so self-aggrandizing and gross and at the expense of your husband and other people just to get attention on yourself. Like you're embarrassing, dude. You're fucking embarrassing. I mean, Jesus Christ. The attention is worth that? Like just shitting on your husband who's sitting right there for 30 straight minutes, just completely disregarding what he wants to do. Like it's worth it because you get the, oh my God, I just need it. I need it. It's embarrassing, dude. Oh my God. My favorite part. Guess when Schaub hit on her, dude? Guess when Schaub hit on her? 7 fucking years ago. That incident that everyone's talking about, he hit on Bobby Lee's wife 7 years ago. 7 fucking years ago. And she's talking about it now as if like this is some kind of relevant story, dude. Jesus, it's like, what? You're embarrassing, okay? Get it together.